Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Mariana and I love all kinds of makeup. So I know that the past video was very high-end makeup, but in this channel we also like some drugstore makeup. Today we're gonna be trying a full face of Revlon. Now Revlon recently, I don't know if they're rebranding, redoing everything. For a while I didn't really hear anything, like not many new things from Revlon. Excited about this video. If you're excited about getting a full face of Revlon, just keep on watching. Okay, so for primers we have three. They're called the Revlon PhotoReady Prime Plus, and basically what it says is makeup and skincare primer, complex infused with vitamin B5 and hyaluronic acid, and that's for the perfecting and smoothing. And then for the brightening and skin tone evening, it says makeup and skincare primer, complex and infused with lemon extract and vitamin E and C. That one is the yellow one. Used with artichoke extract, salicylic acid, and AHA. So usually those acids are really good for, like, if you have texture, or hyaluronic acid in general is really good for your skin. For today, I think I'm gonna do the mattifying and pore reducing in my T-zone, the brightening and evening skin tone. So I'm gonna be using these two. Okay, there it goes. Oh, okay. I'm gonna grab this much, and then they are scented. They smell very chemical. We're gonna apply that there, and it feels cooling when you put it in your skin. It feels like it has this cooling effect to all them. It's a little bit tacky. I wouldn't say it's super tacky, but it is a little bit tacky. We're going to the other one, the yellow one. And I like the packaging. It's very nice. It's very sleek, white. Oh. So as you can see, this one is not white. This is more, let me see if it has shimmer. Let me see. It has like a pearl type of finish to it. I mean, I believe it's yellow because of, you know, the vitamin C. This one smells too, but it doesn't smell as much. Let's apply it. You know what it reminds me of? Let me see. I hope you guys could see it. Oh, there it is. I don't know if you could see. It has a little bit of a sheen. Okay, so it reminds me a lot of the NYX, like the Bear With Me primer. That one has a little bit of sheen. I'm gonna just go on the sides of my forehead, because right in the middle, that's where I get the most oily. It doesn't feel heavy or anything. It feels like this one is a little bit more tacky than the other one, but it feels nice. It feels comfortable. I hope they don't break me out. For the foundation, we have two. And these are the Revlon PhotoReady Candid Glow, and then we have the PhotoReady Candid, just regular Candid. Let me see. Well, I put a glowy primer on the perimeters of my face, so I think I'm gonna try the matte, just because there's so many glowy stuff out there nowadays. And I got mine in the shade 210. And it says it's a natural finish anti-pollution foundation. I'm going to be applying that with a brush. And this one is by BH Cosmetics. I love to just go like that with my foundation, but I've had some horrible stories. Now the color, the color has a little bit of a pink undertone, but not a lot. So let's hope for the best. I hope it matches. Now typically foundation with the brush is always going to give you better coverage, only because it doesn't soak a lot of the product. So this is what it looks like with the first layer. As you can see, it did even out my skin tone. It does feel kind of tacky, so I'm guessing you will have to let it sit for a little bit. But so far with one layer, I think if you don't have like a lot of freckles or you don't have a lot of acne, I think you can get away with just one layer. Like if I was in a hurry, I would probably just leave it at that and move on to concealer. But since I have a little bit of time, I'm gonna apply a little bit more. I also want to see how buildable it is. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm just gonna dot it in my face. I don't think it added a lot of coverage, and it's not blending with my skin. Like it's kind of like just sitting on top of it. I don't know if it's because of the primer. I'm gonna apply a little bit more, but I'm gonna do it with my sponge and see if in fact that helps a little bit. Definitely feels nicer with the sponge than with the brush. So this might be one of those foundations meant to be used with the sponge. And this is so strange because I feel like it's giving me more cover up, but then again it's like the third layer. This foundation is better if you use it with the sponge or your fingers, because it kind of like the sponge will push it in your skin. That at first I was feeling like it was just sitting on top, but as soon as I went over with the sponge, I noticed that it kind of blended in. So if you happen to try it, just try it with your sponge. And this shade is a little light for me, but I'm gonna wait and see if it kind of like oxidizes a little bit, because sometimes, and I noticed especially with drugstore foundations, that tends to be the case. For concealer, we're gonna be using, I have the Revlon PhotoReady Candid, and this one is Antioxidant Concealer and shade 01 Banana. It says it's a medium coverage concealer. And they don't have that many shades. Well, when I went to pick it up, I didn't notice that they had like a huge range of shades. Also for the foundation, I don't think it comes in a lot of shades. And the other one that I have is the ColorStay, the Revlon ColorStay Concealer. And this one I have in 02 Pale. I'm going to swatch both of them first and see the colors, and then we'll go from there. Oh, and this one has this type of, I like this type of applicators. They look like kind of like a spoon. I'm gonna swatch it in my hand. Okay, so this banana shade is definitely pretty yellow. And then I'm gonna go with the ColorStay. Well, this one, the applicator, it's much smaller, more on the pink side, more neutral pink. So I think I'm gonna mix the two. So I'm gonna go first with ColorStay to try to cancel out some of my dark circles, and then I'm gonna go back and add some of this and this just to the very center of my face, just to give it a little more light. And I'm just patting it with my sponge. They don't have any particular scent. The ColorStay is supposed to be a more high coverage. And since I don't have an eye primer, I don't know if they make an eye primer, but I didn't find one. So I'm just going to use concealer as eye primer. So as you can see, it did brighten up my skin. We will see, like, once the shade, once it sits, we'll see if it changes color a little bit. The formula feels very thin. They're not super liquidy, but they're also not moussey. So the consistency is right in between. All right, I'm gonna apply it a little bit more, only because as you can see, there's still some of my darkness peeking through. So I'm gonna apply a little bit more of the ColorStay just right here, just to see if I could build it up a little bit more. Okay, I don't know if you could see, it did cover a little bit more, but it didn't fully cancel it. To set the concealer and the rest of the face, we're gonna be using the Revlon PhotoReady Candid Anti-Pollution Setting Powder. So I think like this whole line is anti-pollution. And this one, it's on 001. It doesn't say if it's a translucent powder or if there's more colors. I did see like 3 other ones, but they were very dark. So it comes with a little protecting thing so that when you take it out, it doesn't fly everywhere. I'm gonna put a little bit on the lid. I'm gonna apply it to the eye. I remember back in the day, Revlon foundations, everything, they used to be very, very matte, like very, very matte. The powder feels really fine, feels actually really nice. Let me grab a powder brush, and I'm gonna pick up some with the brush and then set the rest of my face. I didn't have any contour, but I do have a bronzer. This is also one of their new bronzer, and this is in shade 110 and Sunlit Glow, and this is the Revlon SkinLights. This is really, really good bronzer. I think I showed it in one of my first impression videos, but I'll leave it up here. It's a really nice bronzer. The texture, it reminds me a lot of the ColourPop blushes. It has that, like, it feels very, very creamy, where like you don't know if it's cream or a powder. So that's what this reminds me of. Technically, this is the one product that inspired me to retry Revlon. I'm just gonna apply it a little more, just to give a little bit of a contour, just so that I don't look like a potato. For highlight, it's another one of the Revlon SkinLights. And this one is in the shade 202 Twilight Glam, and this is a beautiful, beautiful like goldish color. It's really pretty. Now this highlight, this one, it's a little bit more on the gold side, so it's a little bit dark for me right now. I think they do have like a lighter version of it, and as you could see, it's also like, I mean, it's there, but it's very, very subtle, like gives you like that glass skin effect. And I like this kind of highlights for everyday, where like they're not really, really sparkly, but they give you a nice glow. Now for blush, I didn't pick up any of the powder blushes, but I did pick up one of the cream blushes, and this one is called Revlon Insta Blush, and this is in the shade 320. Now I'm iffy about this because when I swatch it, I don't know if you could see it, but you can hardly get any color. And then when you try to blend it, it like disappears. Like it bulks in one spot and it doesn't blend that well. So I'm gonna try it on my face, but I don't have very high hopes for it. So I'm gonna use it with the same brush, and these stippling brushes are really good for like cream blushes or any cream product that you might use. Let's see if I'm able to get any color. And I don't want to apply it directly to my skin because I'm afraid that I'm gonna just destroy my makeup. Okay, so the color is showing a little bit. I can see some color payoff. It's not picking up any of my foundation or like the powder or anything. Yeah, I'm gonna try it a little bit with the sponge. I just want to see if it does anything else or it blends a little bit better. I'm surprised. I honestly didn't think I was gonna like it. I swear, when I first swatched it in my hand and I noticed that like it will just disappear, I was like, but you know what, it actually turned out pretty good. The skin looks pretty good actually. I don't know if you could see it. Alright, so let me do my eyebrows and then we'll move on. Brows are on. My face looks so different as soon as I apply bronzer, blush, and my eyebrows. It's like I'm a total different person. Okay, so now for eyes, I have 2 options. I picked up Maverick ColorStay in 930 Rebel. And this is just eyeshadow, a mini eyeshadow palette. This is what it looks like. You know, this is giving me vibes of another palette, like a high-end palette. If I find it, I'll put a picture right here. But it comes with 8 shades. The only thing I'm not a huge fan of is that the pans are so tiny. For example, this Morphe M35. If you try to put it in there, like, it would be very hard to try to grab a color. I happen to have this Morphe ones. This is the Morphe. This came in a pack. It was a pack of like 4 or 5, but these are tiny, so these actually fit quite nice in this one. So just something to have in mind. I mean, if you don't mind and if you do your eyeshadow with your finger, you should be fine. And then the other one that I picked up is the Revlon ColorStay Cream Eyeshadow, and it's in 710 Caramel. And this is what it looks like. Long wear cream eyeshadow, waterproof, and it has a built-in brush for easy mess-free application, and it wears for up to 24 hours. I'm not gonna wear my eyeshadow for 24 hours, but it has claims. Oh, look, so this is really cool. If you like kind of like, oh, there you go. Push it, you get the little brush in here, so that's convenient. Okay, and this is what it looks like. Let me see. Oh, it's very creamy. I'm gonna apply a little bit of this all over my eye, and then we'll go and play with the eyeshadows. So I'm just gonna use my fingers. And this color, it's a little more cool tone than I thought. I thought it was gonna be, since it says gold. I thought it would be a little bit warmer, but in case I just want like a beautiful wash of color, it actually looks pretty nice. So they dry more of a powdery finish, because like as soon as you're done blending it, it doesn't feel tacky or anything. So let's start with this one, and I'm gonna start with this color right here, this one right here, the second one. The shades don't have names or numbers. You know what? No, let me start with this one, because this is a little bit later. Oh my goodness. Did you see that? They're very pigmented. Wow. That's surprising. In a good way. You just need to find a brush that will fit in there, like, just because, like I said, sometimes you pick up a little bit of the color right next to it, but nothing major. Pretty pigmented, and they blend pretty easily. I don't know if you could see, but they're not patchy or anything. They're blending pretty nice. I was grabbing this lightest amount of shadow. It blends really good. I mean, I'm looking at in the monitor, and it looks pretty good. I'm very impressed. I am gonna go with this second shade right here. I'm gonna apply it right in the other corner. We're gonna intensify just a little bit more, and I'm gonna be grabbing this color right here. These shadows are blending in like really good. I'm gonna go back with the same brush that I used at the beginning, and then I'm just gonna blend out a little bit on the top. I'm gonna start with this color right here, and I'm gonna do it on a little brush like this. Okay, so now I'm just gonna flip the brush around, and I'm gonna use the clean side, and I'm gonna go with this pink. They are so creamy, like, I don't know if you could see it, but they look like cream shadows. And then I'm just gonna, oh my god. Are you seeing this? Wow. And then I'm gonna flip the brush around where we use that other color and kind of like blend them together a little bit. For the inner corner, taking this shade right here, it's kind of like a goldish color, and I'm gonna apply that to the inner part of my lid. And then with the same brush, I'm gonna clean it a little bit in my hand, just so that I can try to get rid of some of the color. And then I'm gonna go with the lightest shade right here. I'm gonna apply that right here. With the same brush, I'm gonna grab a little bit of this color right here, and I'm gonna pinch the brush a tiny bit. I'm gonna grab the color, tap the axis, and then just pinch it a little bit and put it. I'm gonna grab a little bit of that pink shade, and then I'm gonna apply that right in the middle because I love to be extra. I'm gonna grab that same pink shade, but I'm gonna grab it in my finger. I'm just gonna tap it a little bit in just in the inner corner, in the middle of my lid, like right on the center, just so that when you close your eye, you have a little more light to it. For the eyeliner, I'm gonna grab one of these tiny brushes, and then I'm gonna grab the darker color that I have in the palette. They're very, very pigmented. Okay, so as you can see, this is what the eyes look like. That color is really, really nice. And then I'm just gonna run a little bit of that color right and next to my lash line, just to make my lashes look a little bit fuller on the bottoms. I am very, very impressed with these shadows. Top and eyeliner is the Revlon So Fierce Vinyl eyeliner. I got mine in Mighty Mocha. They have other colors. They also have like a purple one, a black one, but I wanted to get a brown one, and this is what it looks like. Wow. Oh my god, look, barely touching it, and look at the line. Wow. Okay, so I'm just gonna apply a little bit of this to my waterline on top. I apply a tiny bit on my lash line on the bottom, and then I'm just gonna smudge it with my finger. For mascara, this is the mascara. It's also from the same line, So Fierce mascara, and this one is supposed to extend, lift, and volumize. I got mine in 701, Black is Black, and this one has more of a it's like one of those silicone brushes. If you don't like this kinds of brush, they don't have like the regular traditional bristle. I'm not a huge fan of this kind of brush, only because I tend to always poke my eyes with it. And that's just me because I'm kind of slow sometimes. But it definitely gave volume, separate my lashes. As soon as you get it out of the tube, you need to apply it really, really fast because it does dry almost instantly. On this side, it's already dry, and it's fairly difficult to try to build it up. But overall, it's pretty good. I like it. Give you like major volume. They're pretty black. Even with this light, you can see that it's really, really black. For the lips, I have the Revlon Matte Ultra HD Matte Color, and this one I got it in the shade 645. I don't know if they sell setting spray. I didn't get any. I'm just gonna use my NYX. I'm just gonna grab the sponge and press a little bit. This is what the makeup looks like. The eyeshadows, the mascara, like everything is so pretty. Overall, I'm so extremely surprised with everything. If I gotta tell you about my favorite things, definitely would be this. The eyeshadows are so good. They're so pigmented, they're so buttery, they were so easy to blend. They just look so pretty, and as you can see, even though I apply a lighter color on top of more darker shades, it still shows through. So they're very pigmented. They're very shiny. Like all the shimmers are really good, really buttery. Like I told you, it feels like you're dipping into a cream shadow and not necessarily a powder, so that's really nice. If you're in a budget or you just don't like to spend a lot of money on makeup, this is awesome, like amazing. This is like the #1 thing that I would like to recommend out of everything that I've tried so far. Other than that, obviously the bronzer and the highlight, these have been my favorites ever since I tried them in that video. And then the powder is really good. It's a very fine powder. It doesn't feel heavy. I didn't notice that it accentuate my texture. It doesn't feel like I have powder on my skin. And then everything else, as far as the foundation goes, I mean, I do have a lot of freckles on my skin, and then lately, I don't know why, but I'm getting like major breakouts in my forehead. Sometimes I like to have like a very more of a full coverage, medium to full coverage. For me, this is more of a medium coverage. So if you're looking for something for every day, it doesn't say that it has SPF, so it's more for like, you know, just apply with your fingers and run out the door and whatnot. I think this would be good. Or if you don't have any texture, if you don't have any, you know, freckles or pimples, anything that you want to cover. As far as the primer goes, I actually did like this one. This is the Mattifying and Pore Reducing, because I'm done doing my makeup and I don't have, like, my oil has not picked through at all. And usually with most foundations, by 20-30 minutes I start seeing my oils coming. As far as the brightening one, I will have to play with it a little bit more, only because it has that weird color and it has more of a sheen. I mean, it doesn't show on the skin, but I still want to play with it a little bit more. For the blush, I'm actually surprised. I didn't think it was gonna show color, because like I showed you, like when I swatched it, it wasn't my favorite. But it's not, it doesn't replace like my ColourPop cream blushes, or I have a Tarte one that I also like really good, like a lot, or my Jordana ones. Those are really good. So there's a lot of different options, and I think this is like around $12-13. So for that price, I would recommend you more the Jordana one. That one is like $4 or $5 on Walgreens, or the ColourPop ones. You can get them on Ulta, or sometimes you can get them on sale on their website for like $3 to $4, something like that. So for that, I mean, I would continue to use it, but it's not my favorite. As far as the concealers, I mean, they're sitting really nice under, you know, for my under eye. It did brighten the bridge of my nose. They don't feel heavy. I don't notice that they're accentuating my little fine lines or anything. But for me personally, I like a concealer with a little more coverage. Because I did combine the two, and even then I didn't get that coverage. So for me, these are more of a medium coverage. I didn't notice that they fully covered my under eyes, so I will play with them. The last thing is the eyeliner. The eyeliner is really good. It's very creamy. The cream shadow, this is pretty. This is really pretty. If you don't like to be bothered with any shadows, you don't like to spend 20 hours doing your makeup, those are actually pretty good. As you saw, I was able to blend it, and even though I put it under the other shadows, it's not creasing or anything like that, which just has to say that these are pretty long lasting. But yeah, I mean, other than that, everything was really good. I am so surprised, and that just shows you that you don't need to spend a lot of money to get a really nice makeup. Like, you don't have to go and spend hundreds of dollars at Sephora, because luckily now the drugstore has a lot of good options. And honestly, I think, I don't know if Revlon is doing something new or whatnot, but everything that I tried, like that I've tried today, is actually, it's not everything it's my favorite, but it is really good. So if you're on a budget and there's certain things that you want to pick up, or that you've been thinking or eyeing, well, I hope I tried some of the stuff. So this is what the makeup looks like. Everything wore pretty good, especially the eyeshadow. The one thing I do have to say is that the primer with vitamin C, it's not good. It has a lot of shimmer, and what happened was is that after a few hours, I was driving and I started seeing myself in the mirror. And I don't know if you could see it. Big chunks of shimmer in my skin. The other one, like my nose, is actually, I haven't powdered, I haven't done anything. And as you could see, still in pretty good shape. I'm still so impressed with the eyeshadow. and the mascara and the eyeliner. I was a little iffy about the eyeliner, but it does last a very, very long time. And it doesn't ball up like in my inner corners or anything like that. And yeah, I mean, other than that, I hope you like this video. Please make sure you leave it a thumbs up, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you like, what you didn't like, or if you've tried it. And yeah, other than that, thank you so much for your time. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.